Hi, I'm Raymond. Welcome to Papa Voices. In Papa Voices, we speak to different people about Pope Francis's forthcoming visit to Singapore. Today, I'll be speaking to two people. First, Father John Joseph Fenelon, better known as Father JJ, and Christina Bong, a parishioner from Holy Spirit. Father, you were actually present at the National Stadium for the 1986 Papal Mass. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
I was a layperson, working and not in this priesthood at that time. It came to us as a kind of a surprise that he was actually coming to Singapore. Touching from his humble kissing of the tarmac upon arriving down from the plane, he had already hit home to a lot of people as to a person who really had humility in him, and the way he went around meeting people. He was probably the most traveled Pope. In fact, he was nicknamed the Pilgrim Pope. But special thing about him was he brought plenty of showers of blessing because we were all wet. And that is something everybody remembers about 1986. For me, it was a bit special because prior to that, in 1985, I was with a choir in Rome, and we had performed for him at St. Peter's Square.
So in 1985, you were part of that choir. How did that happen?
Oh, well, I've been with the Risen Christ Choir for a long time, since 1970. And that was the year that we went up to Italy and part of the pilgrimage to some places. And so we had the audience with the Pope in St. Peter's itself. So performing for him and then getting blessed by him as he came to our way was special.
So music has always been really special to you. So we jump forward to today. Can you tell us a little bit about some of your responsibilities for the September 12th Papal Mass? Because this time, you're not a layperson, you're actually actively involved in organizing this Mass.
Even though I am just involved on the music side for the Mass itself, we still needed to attend various meetings just to get a feel of the place. We had district reps selected from each district to better facilitate practices, movements, and things like that. It's a matter of now just getting them ready in terms of vocal techniques and ability to present, but at the same time knowing that it is also at the National Stadium. Everything is in plan, but how it will work out at the end of the day is anybody's guess. It's a very different story when you have all these people there. You got 300,006, that's almost 2,000 people to look at and to give direction and conducting as well, yeah. So I was convinced that in the Papal Mass, the clergy are the ones who are really involved in this.
One last question. Sacred music is so important to the Mass. Any advice to the participants who will be at the National Stadium attending on the day?
Being a Papal Mass, and I think everyone is aware that the Pope starts off the liturgy of the Word from the beginning. Then our Cardinal and two other bishops, Archbishop Julian and Cardinal Sebastian Francis from Penang, they will be like the second part of the celebrants who will be there for the liturgy of the Eucharist. So taking the ICEL chants, the International Commission of English Translation, taking those chants from the Missal is something people are all familiar with, though there are variations in other compositions. I think trying to keep with a sense of liturgy, having people from the Vatican and all, they too will be able to identify with what we're doing. So like I think when His Holiness goes in his Pope Mobile to greet the people and all, I mean, Vivat will be sung, but it's not a very long piece of him. So it'll be sung maybe twice, maybe three times, just to get everyone, to be rousing and getting into the mood of the celebration. There are few hymns, not very many, that have been selected to have a representation of multilingual Singapore. So we have English, Mandarin, Tamil, and Bahasa. These are the four languages officially here in Singapore. There are many foreign groups here in Singapore, but we can't possibly put everything in. That's a lot. So be fair to everyone. Four official languages in Singapore, so that's it. Yep.
Thank you very much, Father. And
Thank you
certainly I
again.
think we will all keep you in prayer. You, your team, the organizers, the choir, and the orchestra. You guys are doing a fantastic job. We'll pray for your success. And one thing we want to do is you are going to be one of the first people in Singapore to receive one of these commemorative items. So
Okay.
again, thank you very much.
Thank
We'd
you
like
so
to
much.
present you with this bottle.
All right. Thank you again. I must be careful where I bring this to. Don't want to lose it, no?
It's a collector's item right now.
Yeah.
And now we speak to Christina Bong, a parishioner of Holy Spirit Church. Christina was also present at the 1986 Papal Mass when Pope John Paul II came to Singapore.
I'm a cradle Catholic, and I grew up in the parish of St. Michael's. Later on, when we got married and we moved to Upper Thomson, so our parish is the Church of the Holy Spirit. And we have been active in the parish for probably about 20 years.
So let's go back in time a little bit to 1986. So obviously you were much younger then.
Yes.
And that was when Pope John Paul II came to Singapore for his Papal Mass. You attended that Mass, so what prompted you to go?
As Catholics, we are really excited because he's the head of our church, and he is the successor of Peter. To hear him at that point in time, haven't traveled to Italy or Rome to ever see him, was the first time we could get close to the Pope, as close as possible. So yeah, so definitely was an opportunity to want to meet him.
The rainy weather didn't bring you down at all? You felt really happy to be there?
Well, of course we don't like the rain, but it came. And yeah, I think we persisted. I mean, I don't think a lot of people left when the rain came, but that was the beauty of it, is that people were there and we stayed. And in spite of the rain, yeah, we wanted to see the Pope. And it all cleared up when Mass started, so that was really God's blessing, I think.
Clearly showers of blessing.
Exactly.
So speaking of blessing, what did you take away from attending that Mass? How did it touch you?
I think the first thing was that to see so many Catholics come together made me, as a Catholic, feel proud to be one of them, to be a member of this family. And I think what I took away was, I guess, the passion of the people to stay in spite of the rain, the difficult weather.
Let's jump forward to the day. You have decided to volunteer
Yes.
for the September 12th Mass when Pope Francis is going to be in Singapore.
correct.
Can you tell me what you're going to do?
Okay, so I have volunteered to be an extraordinary minister of Holy Communion. I think it's an act of service to be able to help with this. Is to bring Jesus to the people who wants to receive him, right? So when we serve, it's really about bringing Jesus to the people and bringing Jesus to the people joyfully. So for me personally, it does not matter whether I'm serving on a weekday Mass, a weekend Mass, or in a stadium. We are bringing Jesus, and Jesus is in the Eucharist.
Stay tuned for more in this series from Papa Voices.